So I know I promised a new segment that is getting pushed back a little bit, but we'll debut that either tomorrow or on Friday. So this is a mailbag show. We're going straight through week number 7 coming up. Hopefully your team is doing well. If not, you're still in it. Keep fighting. And we're going to help you out right now on the show. So you guys ready to get into the mailbag?
Hold on. Yes.
Mailbag.
It takes everything in me not to just play constant sound effects and clips from Back to the Future all day because it's just got a special place in my childhood and adulthood. A special place in both.
In my heart.
Yeah, and I've got, this die-cast DeLorean sitting right here on our desk every day reminding me.
True story. Both Jason and I did not get paid for a month, so Andy could buy the DeLorean.
True story. True story. But it's really nice because when you turn the wheel, the tires move.
Yeah, that was worth it.
Yeah, it has a working flux capacitor. All right, Riaz wants to know, James Starks or Karlos Williams rest of the season? Who would you rather have?
James Starks. I believe he has every bit as high an upside, but he doesn't require Eddie Lacy to be injured, so give me James Starks for sure.
Completely agree.
It's interesting because Karlos Williams, I was looking at this today, every game he's played, he's been double digits the entire year. He's obviously...
Because he scores every game.
Yes, but I mean, I'll take it. And
I'm not downgrading
Shady
that,
obviously has the injury issues. I'm curious to see how this actually shakes out rest of the season. I think it will be very close production-wise. Obviously, if there's a major injury, one guy's going to run away, but... very interesting. I agree with you. I would take Starks, but
if you were the Shady owner, you'd rather have Karlos Williams right now?
Definitely. And what I will say is this week, either gone through this morning or if your waivers go through later, Starks is gone. He'll be picked up. Williams will hit waiver wires or he's on waiver wires. And so from a perspective of getting a valued guy, I still think Williams is worth owning.
100%.
Yeah.
And he's on a lot of waiver wires. So, all right, let's ask the same question here. A couple different guys, though. Rest of the season, I think we all know the answer to this one. Arian Foster or Lamar Miller? This question's from Milad.
Foster.
Arian Foster for sure.
But
Going away.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It's going away. The only concern for me for Foster is he almost all of his production right now is coming through the air, and I guess that's not a concern, but just it's strange that he can't get it going on the ground. And as long as he stays involved in the passing game, he's going to be a tremendous running back asset, especially in a point per catch league of some kind. But that's still is a strange thing to be watching for Foster moving forward.
We saw in Hard Knocks in the offseason during training camp before Arian went down, when Hoyer was, kind of the starter, Bill O'Brien saying, hey, if you're in doubt, just get it to Foster. Just if you don't know what to do, get it to Foster. And so I think that's not going to go away.
Yeah, and the one thing to note, he's had 2 big-time games, but hasn't scored rushing touchdowns in them either. So even if these production and yardage isn't super high on the ground, you're still going to mix in some of those goal line opportunities for him.
And what's great about him is he's got that Lev Bell because he's doing so much in the air. If he gets you just 40 on the ground, but then 40 through the air, he's giving you a good day.
Yeah, he scored last week through the air. All right, Cole S. in Fort Collins wants to know, would you give up Jeremy Hill to get Eddie Lacy? This is a great question.
Really great question. Personally, I would not. The reason that I would not is because the schedule coming up here is really bad. First of all, Eddie Lacy's on a bye, and then he comes back to a bad matchup where you don't know for sure whether it's going to be Eddie Lacy or James Starks. Wins matter, and if you want to get to the playoffs, you've got to be putting up the points. The next 2 weeks, I expect Jeremy Hill to definitely outperform Eddie Lacy for those reasons. And so going long-term, there's a lot of question marks on both guys, but I expect Hill to be pretty much okay. I don't think Hill is going to be relegated to that number 2 position for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think it's going to continue like it is in Cincinnati, but I agree with Jason that if you're looking at the schedule, these games they look like Jeremy Hill games.
Okay, so let me ask you, caveat, Mike. You're 5-1. You're 6-0. Do you do this trade because you're looking long-term with Lacy? Because I feel like you asked me long-term, I'd rather have Lacy rolling out there during the the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season than I would Hill.
Maybe, but I'm sticking with Hill though.
Okay.
Because of Lacy. Just maybe it's all the injury and he heals up over the bye week, but he's done nothing. I mean, Hill. Sure,
Well,
people
I mean,
are very upset with Hill, but Hill has had 2 monster games and last week a good game. So
what are their numbers comparatively on the year? Because Lacy still had some double-digit games to start the year. I'm just curious, Mike, Jay, are you looking at that?
Right now,
Per game.
Jeremy Hill's averaging 11.5 per game and is the 19th ranked running back. I can look and see Lacy.
Well, Lacy's not 19th, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, he's had not a good run. He's averaging 8.4.
Okay. They're pretty
and
close.
He's 36. Yeah, they are pretty close. They're both on bye this week, so
it's a really
I don't want to
interesting
highlight
question.
Eddie Lacy's bye and not not Jeremy Hill's, but Jeremy Hill comes back to what looks to be a very good schedule.
All right, so you guys would not do it. I would do it. I would trade for Lacy. Wes in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City.
no,
Oh, okay. Would you do this trade?
no. What you do is Oklahoma. Where the
Bum, bum.
do the bump. I don't know the rest of the
Yeah,
words.
nobody does.
It's do the womp. It's where
Yep.
the ba do the womp.
Oklahoma, where they do the womp.
I think it's something about the wind.
Then the
come
wind.
blowing
Where
through
the
the
wind.
trees.
They romp in the
Is there
wind.
trees in Oklahoma? It's very flat.
Yeah, because trees can't grow on flat ground.
Touche.
Okay, go on, Andy.
Flat as in nothingness, just grass.
Are there trees on that flat ground over there?
It's called the Great.
Trees make the ground all bumpy.
Have you guys ever seen the Great Plains?
Oh
No,
my
I never
goodness.
have.
It's very flat and very grassy.
If you define an orchard, it would be trees on flat ground.
Touche.
All right, what's the next question?
Would you do this trade? I'm starting to give up on Randall Cobb, and I like the Carr Cooper connection. So would you? I'm guessing the trade is would you do Cobb for Cooper?
I would not. I would rather have Randall Cobb than Cooper. Cobb has been limited by his shoulder. He's getting a week of rest. I also think he's been limited by the fact Devontae Adams going down has made an impact. Devontae Adams was still in the position, the outside position, that number 1 wide receiver position that's gone away. So defenses have now rolled extra in addition to Jordy being gone, with Devontae being gone, to Randall Cobb. But I would rather have Randall Cobb. Even with his bad weeks, he's still averaging well more than Amari Cooper. After the bye, I would rather have
Give me Cobb.
Cobb. I'm
I'll
pretty
take
tempted.
Cobb.
I'm pretty tempted to get Cooper right there. I think Cooper,
This is just a matter of if Aaron Rodgers was throwing to Cooper in Oakland, I'd be on the Cooper side.
yeah, I can understand that.
I'm fine with the talent.
I think I'm gonna take Cooper.
Okay. Ray in Virginia. Jarvis Landry for Randall Cobb. So if you're in that situation, would you take Landry for Cobb?
Ooh.
There's no chance I would do that.
Is there? You just know what chance you would take Landry?
Not for Cobb. No.
So the real question is, would you trade Landry for Cooper?
Uh,
Who do you have higher, Landry or Cooper?
Cooper. That's why this trade isn't as close. I have Cooper higher than Landry. It would go Cobb, Cooper, Landry, rest of season.
I am with you. I think in a PPR, though, I would
Yeah, I
go
agree.
Randall Cobb still first, then Landry, then Cooper.
Landry is so consistent in a PPR, and
He consistently does not get touchdowns,
No,
other than the one running
but
last week.
he's not scoring. He did score last week, but Landry is among the league leaders in red zone targets and end zone targets. So this is one of those things where I think the market will correct itself and Landry will start to score some touchdowns.
You're hoping he can get those end zone touchdowns?
That is
the
one of my
best
better
kind
quotes.
of touchdowns.
I like end zone touchdowns as opposed to what
Midfield
Bradford
touchdowns.
throws.